Hey squad, TITOBODS here, and in today's video, I'm going to share with you guys my updated Warrior Pikeman guide because it's been a while since I do the updates on my Warrior Pikeman because I haven't really maxed out my Roland yet. But right now here in the Pioneer server, I can give you guys my build that's going to happen soon as I have my Roland at least 3 stars or 5 stars. So in this video right here, I'm going to give you all the skill builds and why I choose those builds. Number 2, I'm going to give you my gem build, my ring build, and if there is a budget build for it, I'm also going to share with you some of the ring build for budget builds also, and of course the mounts. Although the adornments is not that much available or accessible for us here, I'm still going to tell you which you should be aiming for as your if you are a Cyrus user. So before anything else, don't forget to like this video and share it with your friends so that they can also benefit from having this informations out there. And if you're new to the channel, you like this kind of video, or maybe you have been playing Age of Empires Mobile for a while, maybe there is a video out there in our channel already ready for you to check out, kindly do give us love by subscribing and also ring that bell so you will always be notified as soon as we have a new video just for you guys. So here we have Cyrus, Mansa, and Roland. And I will tell you guys, after the devastating heartbreak of the nerf, I will still favor this one rather than having Vlad in here. I know that before or on the previous one that we have not heard of the nerf yet, I was favoring Vlad. And it's because of the results during the fights in the previous Pioneer server. But right now in this Pioneer server, and of course, because of the nerf, we need Mansa even better than Vlad. So in this video right here, we have this build, and this is what I'm going to build, as I've said again, on my current march. I'm only leveling the stars of Roland, but everything is ready for him to take the place of our beloved Frederick Barbarossa. But anyway, in this video, let me just share with you guys the build that I have also on my main account that I want to share with you guys here. Since my Roland isn't 5 stars yet, we're going to use the Pioneer server. So anyway, first of all, these are the skills and the rings that I want you guys to use. So for Cyrus the Great, of course, the skills of the Child of Prophecy and Forceful Retaliation. Since you don't really have that much damage dealer in this march, you want Cyrus to be that guy. And you already know, maybe for those of you guys who have already been using Cyrus the Great, the details of the skills. Although let's just have a little bit of, let's say, review on the skills. So King of the World here increases the hero's customizable skill damage. So it is important that your 2 skills here are or has a good amount of damage in them. When also dealing damage on customizable skill, continuous damage effects excluded, there's a 65% chance to deal might damage to the enemy troop, and the damage is 160%. So these are counter attack damage. This triggers 1 per second at most and increases the hero's might, which is 50 at max, for 3 seconds. This attack has a 65% also chance to ignore 20% of the enemy's defense. When taking might damage also, there is a 30% chance to reduce that damage to by 8%, plus your might bonus again. So this is pretty important because it will exceed more than 8% and more than 10% in my calculation. For the first 18 seconds of the battle, reduces also secondary strike damage, which mostly are being given by your archers or your might archers or your might cavalry heroes. So those are warriors usually, and it's for 8% plus might bonus again, which is really high. That's why, you know, Cyrus the Great is really living up to his name as the Great. Now, customizable ones for your Child Prophecy and your Forceful Retaliation, most of them are counter attack damage. So this one though, the Child of Prophecy, has like an extra bonus here. Every 4th trigger of the skill guarantees a critical strike. Meanwhile, the critical damage taken by your troops is reduced by 35% for 3 seconds. So that's why this is pretty much important also to counteract some Lubu damage in there. The next one is Forceful Retaliation. This is another counter attack with a damage, but it also has an increase of hero might by 30 for 6 seconds. That's why your Cyrus is really called the Great. So those are pretty much important combos when you have this hero here. So those are the skills that your Cyrus should have. I don't really recommend the Retribution over that one. I really like the Forceful Retaliation over here. So for your Mansa Musa, this is what I recommend. This is the ring, because this ring will help your Cyrus even more with the damage. Plus, it will also help your Mansa Musa with the damage, because Mansa Musa has a damage on his signature skill. Plus, of course, we're going to add damage there by placing or putting a retribution on the skills. So these are the rings. So the rings of Celestial Spark will help you with the damage here. So two highest heroes with the highest might by 11% at this current level, plus reduce the damage taken, which is pretty important also. So this is, for me, a great addition in this March, especially with the addition of Roland here. So for the skills, we still go with your regular Golden Odyssey, and as I've said, Retribution. So in the Retributions though, the only difference for the bonus is your heal, but it's only 25%. Also here in your Golden Odyssey, you will have a pretty good chunk of recovery, plus increases the damage of your commander by 20%, which is pretty huge, plus might bonus. That is aggressively huge, to be honest. Now also for his signature skills, I've said there is a might damage here, which is huge at 450%, plus might bonus again, which will eventually add up to the 450%. Plus, there is an additional recovery here and troop damage taken reduction for 6 seconds, which is 18%. That's why it's pretty huge. And also, you're going to check out later or see later why I choose the mounts that I have on this March, as how I chose them based on what I already have here. So those are the skills for your Mansa Musa. Now, when it comes to Roland, you have here your Sage of Judgment, because I think this will really benefit this March a lot. It does have another heal, which will benefit again the troops, more survivability, and then also it has recovery and it has damage reduction at the same time. Plus the troops damage reduction, defense, and health is pretty good for me. So the skills, if you haven't yet known the Roland skills right now, these skills of Oliphant will, when your troops takes normal attack or skill damage, there is a 35% chance to reduce the enemy's damage dealt to your troops by 20%. So here, another damage reduction. And increases your commander's might in the process by 25% for 3 seconds. That's another huge addition to your already strong Cyrus the Great. So this triggers though 1 time per second. Imagine, 1 time per second. So it means it can trigger 3 times every turn. So every 3 times other heroes on your troops deals skill damage, so it will already benefit Mansa Musa and Cyrus the Great. Continuous damage effect excluded, okay. Recovers your unit, so another recovery for your unit. And reduce your troops damage taken by another 12% for 3 seconds, up to 1 time every 3 seconds again. So that is pretty huge if you're going to ask me. Now, you also have your Golden Odyssey here. Same goes. And do not worry, I already have asked this one. It does stack. It does stack. That's what is good about the Golden Odyssey. It does stack with each other. Now, the other one here, every 4 times your troops take skill damage, reduces your troops damage taken by 12%, another damage reduction for 3 seconds. And this one triggers every 3 seconds at most. After 3 seconds there is a 50% chance to recover your units again. So this is pretty huge because it also has another might bonus. Now this is the Night Anthem, and you can already see healing plus damage reduction. Here on your Mansa Musa, you have damage plus damage reduction plus healing. So combinations of these two will really help your overall survivability. That's why this is a pretty huge adjustment or improvement than your Barbarossa, to be honest with you guys. But of course, before this, Barbarossa is king when it comes to helping this lineup out. Now let's go to the mounts. So I have, of course, Valor for passive damage increase for your Cyrus. If you have other extra additional here like Tasmain or maybe your Old Sunder. Now for your Mansa Musa, you're going to be really maybe surprised why I choose this one. So I have here healing armor. You know why? Because your overall receive healing will increase, and this is if you have like, for example, higher levels here like 4%, you will have like 12% for the 3 heroes, and having it that way, you will really have a lot of healing from Mansa Musa and Roland. So you have 2 healers, and those heals are going to be really high, and you can reach a higher potential of healing. If this has an extra Valor or Army Sunder, it would be even better. Or maybe, if not, another damage reduction, which will really help this one out. So those are actually what you can get as a combo here. So that's what I want for your Mansa. But on the other hand, also for Roland, this is what I want, the renewal. The healing effectiveness will increase, and as long as you have renewal here. The added one here that you want, if you have like 2 traits, for me is the one with the damage reduction. That's what I would want. So on Mansa Musa, I would rather have the second trait as a damage, like Sunder or Valor or Dustbane. But here, I would want another damage reduction. So on Mansa Musa, if there's another damage reduction, it's okay. But my priority there is another damage for the traits. But here, I prioritize the damage reduction. So for the adornments, I want you guys to be focusing on this specific adornments. I'm sorry if I don't have adornments here. You can see we don't have any more meteorite steels here. So for the adornments, I want you guys to be focusing on secondary strike. Getting your secondary strike for your Cyrus. That's what I want for you guys to have. Other things here is actually your Thunder, which is also another good one if you do not have your hands on your secondary strike. Now for your other 2 heroes, like for example your Mansa Musa, I'm not going to be mad about insight and resistance. So those are the 2 other defense adornments that I want you guys to have, because those are the ones that are going to really improve your marches. And the best thing about this one is, as I've said, you can be more defensive. As I always have like 1 offensive adornment, so I recommend 1 guiding star and 2 stalwart shield or stalwart shield. So those are what you want: 1 guiding star, 2 stalwart shield. So for the guiding star, of course, as I've said, Thunder or secondary strike. For the stalwart shield, resistance or insight. So if you have both insight and resistance, it would be even better. So for the gems, let me just give you a quick summary of my gems. So I have mostly health here, might here, passive, and then combinations of both. Another one here, I have health here again. I have the same exact build. So why is that? I need more health in order for me to have better healing in the field and better overall survivability in the field. So higher health means better heals and means better survivability. Now I won't be that player that just rely on health. So I have, of course, combination of your troop capacity still here, because for me it's still important. Troop capacity does have health, defense, and also attack. So also here might gems, but if you do not have might gems here, go for your all attributes. So here, healing, 100% healing here. So on Mansa Musa, I don't prioritize the healing there. I want a little bit more damage there because of the rings that I have. So more damage for Mansa Musa. Now here, combination, but I have a defense gem. So defense gem, at least 1 defense gem. And on my Mansa Musa here, at least 1 attack gem. Those are the things that never is missing on my marches. At least 1 of those. That is going to be my build. So for the rings, if you do not have MOD, the second best ring there, if you're going to go for budget build, is actually your Ring of Boar. That's the only ring that I want you guys to get. Now, if you do not have the Ring of Celestial Sparks, you can just go for defensive ring like Ring of Badger or Ring of Tranquil. Those are the rings that you want. Or, for example, you really don't have anything else, just go for the Ring of Clover. So those are the rings that you want there. Now for Roland, I do want you guys to have another healing like your Ring of Falcon here, because for me it would really help on the healing, the defense overall, and overall survivability of your troops. And for example, you have the Ring of Badger on your Mansa Musa, it will also help a lot in the process. So those are, I think, the budget rings that are going to be available or really going to be useful for you guys. But if you really don't have anything else to add, just go for the Ring of Lily. And for free-to-play players, mostly those are the combinations they have, like Clover or 1 more defensive ring like Falcon. So Falcon here on Roland, Clover here on Mansa Musa, and then Ring of Boar here. So those are some of the rings that they do, but some players do manage to get the MOD even though they are free to play or low spenders. They get their hands on the MOD. And then plus Boar. Sometimes they do use Boar here instead if they don't have Celestial Spark. That is also another viable option. So Boar plus MOD plus, if for example, Clover here if you don't really have anything else, or you can use Ring of Falcon, as I've said, as another budget build. So those are the things that I want you guys to get for your Cyrus updated build for Season 7. And also the mercenary that I want you guys to get is the Swiss Pikeman. For me, this is the best mercenary out there. It will have your ignore defense plus your extra damage. So when dealing turn-based or passive damage, which your troops has, the troop ignores 2% of the enemy troops' defense. That will add on to the damage, to the ignore damage of your Cyrus. Plus, your Cyrus has a huge amounts of damage, and it will really help a lot in the process. And also, this will reduce all damage taken by the troop by 2%. Now, sometimes we ignore the 2%, but for me, 2% is still a huge damage. The only difference with the Roman Centurion is the Roman Centurion has 3.5% for 3 seconds. The only thing is that it will not always be permanently embedded in the bonus. You will only have it for 3 seconds. What if you will not activate any counter attack in, for example, 1 or 2 seconds? Then you will miss that 3.5%. But it does have here, it says that all troops hero skill damage is increased by 2%. Well, for me, as I've said, the the ignore damage in here for me is a little bit more important for me than the extra 2% skill damage in there. Because for me, having your opponent's defense ignored is a higher chance of getting more damage in there. So there you go, squad. That's my current Cyrus build for Season 7. So for those of you guys who have been using Cyrus and this March for a while now, and you have a suggestions or you have other thoughts about this one or other recommendations, please leave a comment down below. You know me, we're going to talk about it. Hopefully you have learned something from this one. And if you want to know more about other heroes, composition, builds, and guides, click this video right here on your screen right now and check out our list if you have a specific hero that you are looking for. And as always, squad, have a great day too, everyone. This is your TITOBODS, and I will see you in the next one.